I am here today to help anti-Zionists. Yes, believe it or not, I'm here to help you. Why? Because so many anti-Zionists have destroyed their lives and careers for a cause they know nothing about. And so I am here to help you not destroy your lives and make sure that you do not ruin your lives for a terrorist group that's halfway around the world that you for some reason thought are freedom fighters, but they're actually just a proxy of Iran. I know you called them decolonized and that they're, anti-colonial, but the bottom line is you've been serving the greatest colonial power of these days, which is the Iranian regime in Tehran. So, how can I help you today? Number one is be aware that not everybody thinks like you. Be aware of the fact that the radicalized group of friends that you have on Instagram, on TikTok, in your little rallies and get-togethers, that's actually not most of the world. Why am I saying this? Because an MD, PhD student at Cornell Weill Medical Center, so that's very hard to get into. Imagine MD, PhD, at Weill Cornell. It means that person really, really, really worked hard to get there. So that person went today jogging in Central Park. And they were on some app of runners and they wrote, I got a second wind today because I flipped off some Zionist quote, they say, I hate them all or something like that. And they posted it. Now, chances are that this person will not be keeping their MD, PhD position in Weill Cornell. Why? Because when you are a hateful person that enjoys flipping off people in Central Park, you should not be a doctor. And if you do enjoy that, find yourself a different field, but definitely not being an MD, PhD student. Number two, how do they know that it's a Zionist? They didn't mean to say Zionist. They really meant to say Jewish person, except they coded it. They thought it's going to be acceptable if they say Zionist, but they really meant Jew, because how do you look at a person and know that they are quote unquote Zionist? So this person is just a simple racist anti-Semite, which is something we knew. We knew anti-Zionists are just usually a bunch of racist anti-Semites who this is what they do. And so, dear anti-Zionists, get the memo. Most of the world does not believe in your hateful racism. And in fact, your behavior is absolutely reprehensible. It is no different than the KKK. And you should realize that. And the fact that all your friends on Instagram and TikTok are saying it does not make it acceptable or true. So whether you're an MD, PhD student at Weill Cornell or one of the other many, many lives I have personally seen people torch their own lives and careers up just because they thought everyone agrees with their hateful anti-Zionist, actual anti-Semitism, and then they thought they can behave in a certain way. So don't do that. Understand that your hateful friends on Instagram are not the real world. There are actually decent people out there. And if you target people for quote unquote being Zionist, there will be consequences. You know why there will be consequences? A, because there are enough decent people out there who are going to take it very seriously. B, because we will make sure there will be consequences. We will make sure we find you. We will make sure we bring it to the attention of the proper authorities and that we highlight that kind of racism to make it clear there is no room for such racism. There is no room for such anti-Semitism. There is no room for such hate. And if you do it, you will have professional consequences, because no one wants to go see a doctor who flips off people in Central Park for being Jewish. If you're surprised, sorry, you shouldn't have gotten this far in life to be an MD, PhD student. So tame a bit that hate, put it back into wherever it came from. Ignore and mute and change the friends you have on Instagram and TikTok, because they're clearly a bunch of KKK members or God knows what. And stop being so hateful. Actually come and meet a Zionist. You'll realize that the medical school you're going to, Weill Cornell, was actually donated by one of the most Zionist families in America, the Weill family. Extraordinary people, philanthropists, people who care for the world, because that's what Zionism is. It's really building a productive future for the world. Those people donated the Weill Cornell Center, and they're not interested in bringing up a bunch of KKK members. It's just, they did this to help people. So get in touch with reality.